Recording button.
Hi, my name is Tim, and I'd love to discuss in this video how to overcome frustrations when learning when learning to play the saxophone. Um, as you all know, I well I don't think anybody knows yet, but I thought I would say in this video I am a blind saxophonist, and I have been playing for 4 months, and I have after about working with first things first. Let's get started with half, the first part of becoming a saxophonist. First things first, I had to work on my embouchure. Was the first part, because what happened was sometimes your cheek muscles get in the way, and what happens is this can cause your embouchure to sound off or sound really bad, especially if your cheek muscles get in the way. So I had to work on that for about a week, about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And once my saxophone teacher and I worked together, and once he saw how my embouchure has improved, she said, you are ready. You are ready for the horn. You are ready for the horn. So she went ahead and we went ahead and worked together, and she showed me how to put the reed on the saxophone. And it's actually really easy if you are visually impaired. If you are a blind person playing the saxophone, it's very easy. If you have felt a saxophone reed before. For those of you that can't see it, it is a wooden stick, and it's made out of cane material, which means I believe it's from a pine tree. I believe I could be wrong about that, but it's actually pretty easy to hold in your hand. However, it is fragile, and believe me, during my first week of learning how to put the reed on, let me tell you, I had an awful experience where the reed. I wouldn't say awful, but I had an experience where the reed actually frayed when trying to put it on once. Well, that was because I thought maybe I can just slide it on like that. Nope. Maybe I can just slide it on, and no. You have to. How it works is you line it up with the mouthpiece on top, which is actually pretty easy to figure out if you can't see it. And I was able to figure that out in a short time, and I was able to learn how to make it sing within 1 to 2 months. In case if anybody doesn't know yet, I learned stuff by ear really quick because I am unable to read a note. I learned things by ear, which helps us out in many ways because our other senses are gone. Our other senses take over as far as being able to learn stuff by ear because our visual senses are gone. So we have, replacement senses, in other words, that take over. We can learn stuff by ear pretty quick, and that's what I'm really good at. I have the ability to learn songs by ear, which in my first video you saw that I played Father Abraham, which is a song that we all remember as kids. So, but anyway, I thought I would discuss in the video how to overcome the frustration of learning to play the saxophone. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this in this video because I'm sure there's a lot of young kids out there right now that are just learning. And I was listening to a saxophone video about a little girl learning to play the saxophone, and I can definitely understand how frustrating it can be. And that's why I'm here to clear up a lot of the frustration. As a blind saxophonist who has been playing for 4 months, and I'm going to be doing a mini concert this weekend for a family member and some friends of hers this weekend up over in Bend, Oregon. And so I well, let's start with step number one. The first thing you want to do is allow this is to better understand how your instrument feels in your hand. Allow the neck strap to be comforting to you as it's around your neck. I know this might sound a little bit weird, but the saxophone is a very comforting instrument and is designed to make you feel good when playing it, because it's very comforting to you when you hear the sound, whether it's you blowing into it or whether it's another person blowing into it. Because after all, it uses your voice for your sound, because what the reed does is it converts your voice into a saxophone voice. So allow yourself to really feel comforted when playing it. As far as being able to hear yourself as you play. And what I do when I feel comforted, I often hug the saxophone, which sounds a little bit strange, but I often hug it just out of comfort, because it really does provide me with excellent comfort when it's around my neck. And it encourages me to play when it's around my neck. Let me see how many minutes I have, because I may not be able to post this here.
Show cap stopper 0607 45. Show.
Okay, 07 minutes 45 seconds. Okay, so that's the first step. Second, step number 2 is when you play an instrument like the saxophone. I know I discussed this in another video that I had trouble posting on here because it was 20 minutes and 43 seconds long, so I wasn't able to post it. But maybe in the future I might be able to post it here. But which I would love to show you tonight. The benefits of playing the saxophone, especially if you are a blind person, or anyone who isn't blind for that matter. But this is a really good feature, especially for those that are blind or have low vision. Step number 2 is to allow the instrument to guide you in your learning. And what I mean by guiding in the learning process is when you play a note, and when you hear that note, allow yourself to not just hear that note, but also feel the vibration of that note as you play. Because the saxophone allows you to feel the vibrations of the note as you play. For example, note G, when you're holding that note, and when you put your right hand on your voice box, which I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you what I mean. The saxophone allows you to feel the vibration of the notes that you are playing. Because And this really helps you to better understand and better feel the note that you are playing because of its vibration features that it offers. And that is actually one of the most features that a lot of people I've noticed skip over, which I can totally understand um, why they do, because they can see it. But for us that can't see it, this is one of the most valuable features for us, and it could be valuable to a person who has eyesight too, especially to a small child who is definitely learning the instrument, because they could put their right hand on their voice box here and feel their own note that they are playing. And I can't recall what channel it was, or I can't recall the name of the video, but I was listening a couple nights ago where she or the little girl was trying to learn how to play the saxophone, and I could definitely understand what she was going through. Of course, I didn't have any resources available to purchase a saxophone when I was much younger, because I was going to the Washington School for the Blind for a long time, and I didn't have any resources until now, here in 2017 to 2018. So the saxophone allows you to really feel the vibrations of the note that you are playing, and it's a very powerful vibration. In fact, I will post one more video here, and I did my own saxophone version of what was the song called that we all remember? Oh, Lean on Me. I did that one, and that one features. Actually, you know what I will do? I will actually, rather than that one, I will post a happy birthday saxophone version, and that one does feature me putting my right hand on my voice box, so I can better show you how the saxophone really allows you to feel your own note, whether it's on your voice box or whether it's on the instrument itself. So, when you feel the note that you're playing and not just hear it, that helps you learn a lot faster, especially if you can feel the note that you're playing, because the saxophone is a lot bigger, as we all know, and it vibrates a lot harder. So that way we can feel. That way we, as blind and vision impaired people, can really feel what we are doing, because we can't see it. And that is one of the most valued features I really enjoy, I really love about the saxophone, because it really helps us not just hear what we are doing, but feel what we are doing. Feel the vibrations of the note that we are doing. And so that's step number 2, to help you overcome that frustration that you may be experiencing when you first learn. And this feature actually may be useful to a little boy or a little girl who's just learning. In fact, this feature may be very useful. In fact, I'm not sure, because it's hard to really know each person's learning level, but I believe this feature might work even for a person who is fully sighted and learning and is in the beginner stage, and who's and who's really young and who wants to learn how to play saxophone. So that's why I'm going to be posting these videos where it features me putting my right hand on my voice box, so I can better let you guys see on screen what the saxophone offers as far as really being able to feel the notes that you are playing. And also, I have one more step. Step number 3: never be intimidated by the saxophone. The keys, all the keys and button layout is very easy. All of the button layout, all of the keys are very tactile, especially if you can't see it. And it allows us to really easily play an instrument, or not an instrument. It allows us to super easily play the instrument with all 3 of our fingers on the keys, and it involves a lot of the fingering arrangements that takes some time to get used to, but then after a while, as we progress, the saxophone is a very easy, and this is what I mean by super easy. It's especially super easy and super intuitive for us, for us blind people and vision impaired people to learn, because if we do get lost on it, boom, it's very easy to find your way back. It is super easy to find your way back to where you were starting, unlike it is on a piano, because on the piano, when you play all the notes at once, sometimes you can get lost rather quickly, and then you have a heck of a hard time finding your way back. And also on the piano, and yes, I played the piano when I was really young, which transferred the gift that I have over to the saxophone and because I played the piano for a number of years before I retired from it in early 1995, late 95, when I had the rest of my education to finish. So
Authentication.
And when you play an instrument like the
Windows,
piano for a
user
number of
image.
years before you get your saxophone, that amazing gift that you have will automatically transfer over to the saxophone, as far as you being able to make it sing within 1 to 2 months. 1 to 2 months, and that is amazingly quick. And most people don't have this ability to learn that quickly within 1 to 2 months, because, depending on their learning level, see, again, like I was saying, they might be a little bit, younger, and they may need, a little bit of guidance. But again, with those 2 steps, or those 3 steps that I gave in this video, you should be able to have fun, have a good time with learning the instrument. And again, allow yourself to really feel the vibration of your own note that you are playing. That way, it becomes more relaxing to you as you learn, but also it helps you learn faster too, especially when you are just starting out, learning to play, learning your embouchure, and learning all the things you need to know about there is when it comes to playing the saxophone. Well, I would love to show you. I would love to show you what I mean about allowing the saxophone to. Excuse me. I would love to show you what I mean by feeling the vibration of the notes that you play on the saxophone. However, I have it packed up for tonight because I'm getting ready to go tomorrow morning, and I'll be taking it on a mini concert trip this weekend. So maybe next week. I don't have any saxophone lessons next Thursday, so I might be able to cover this feature. I'll be able to cover the vibration features of the saxophone next Thursday. And of course, next Sunday, I go to a family member's wedding, so I'll be playing the song that we all know, and that's Here I Am to Worship, which we all know in many churches across the world. So, okay, well, I hope this video was really beneficial to you, especially when you are learning to play the saxophone and learning all about the features that it has. And it may take some time, especially with you getting used to it, because your lips also, I'm going to point out one more thing. Your lips also may get tired, depending on how long you've been playing it when you first get started. Because your lips also have to get used to being up against the reed. That is the main thing that your lips may struggle with at first. But the more you play, the more your lips will adapt to it, and they won't get so sore awfully quickly. Especially when you articulate notes, which I've been doing, when you do the ta movement. And there are some times when your lips want to do it, and there are some times when it may not want to do it. Your lip muscles can be funny sometimes, especially when you try to articulate the notes. I know when I try to do it, it sometimes wants to do it, and other times doesn't want to do it. So it's tricky, but the more you do it, the more it becomes like night and day for you. So anyway, I hope this video was useful, and if you guys have an excellent night, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Dimmed with QuickTime Player, movie recording window, show capture device selection menu button, stop recording button.